never considered myself to be like a technical guitar player. You know, when I play the guitar, I'm kind of hearing the whole song, vocals, everything that's going on in my head. So it's the tool that I use to structure songs, to write songs. It's also a way for me to, you know, just kind of get away from my world and, you know, go in my little room and I don't really play guitar in front of people too much. I mean, obviously when I'm on stage, but like when I'm at home, it's usually when I'm alone, so it's kind of like an intimate thing for me. I started collecting records when I was like maybe 4. I would always drag my mom to the record store. I don't think I picked music. Music kind of picked me. I can't remember a time in my life that I wasn't interested in music. I don't know where I would be without it. It's just kind of what has always been part of my identity. Music has just been something that's there. It's always been something that has been important to me. I grew up in Hollywood in a pretty small one-bedroom apartment until I was 11 years old. I always wanted to play the drums. That was something that, you know, since I was a kid, I always wanted a drum set, but in that small apartment that I lived in, we couldn't fit a drum set. So we finally moved in a house when I was like 12 years old, and I was like, great, now I'm gonna get my drum set. We went to the music store on my 12th birthday to go get me my drum set, and my parents kind of had a discussion amongst themselves and said, you know, you can't turn off the drums. So they decided to get me a little amplifier. It was an amp by a company called Gorilla, and they bought me a guitar. It was an Arbor guitar, and so that's how I became a guitar player, was because my parents couldn't turn off the drums. The influences when I was a kid were more heavy metal. Sabbath, Ozzy, Slayer was a big deal for me. But a lot of metal stuff, you know, made me want to learn how to play those riffs. But as I grew, my taste changed as well. So that's why I say as a kid it was more of the metal stuff, and as I grew up it went into the Beatles and a lot of other, you know, Grateful Dead and all kinds of other stuff that are influences of mine now. But at that time it was just a lot of heavy metal, and I was always just trying to find the heaviest metal, you know, and at that time, which was like the mid 80s, metal was evolving, so there was like this, you know, if you wanted heavier, some band would come and give you the heavier stuff. I've never practiced guitar a day in my life, actually. That's what I always tell people. They're like, you know, did you ever practice? You practiced a lot. And I never felt like I was practicing. I was just playing. And I only played when I felt, you know, the itch to play, and it was calling me. And it's still that way now. Writing-wise, I'll usually come in with a structured song. I like to write in verses, choruses, very traditionally structured, actually, you know, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, out. But what I use for the verses and choruses and bridges, I tend to look at music with like colors, like how an artist would look at colors, and I have a lot of different tastes in music. I don't ever say like it only has to be heavy metal. That's kind of why the music I write with System or even with Scars, it's diverse. Even in one song, it'll have a heavy metal part and then it'll go into a whole different type of thing, because I'm not afraid to use different colors, different moods. There's sometimes humor in my writing. I'm in different moods, so I kind of use the color of the moods that I want to express, you know.